Have you ever wondered how something as small as a leech can attach to your skin, drink your blood? And you might not even feel it? Imagine walking through a forest or swimming in a pond, and a tiny creature silently latches onto you. Minutes later, it's full of blood, but you never felt the bite. How is that possible? The secret lies in one of nature's most fascinating biological tricks used by the leech. Leeches are small, worm-like animals that live mostly in freshwater environments like ponds, lakes, and slow-moving streams. They belong to a group of animals called annelids, the same family as earthworms. But unlike earthworms that simply live in soil, many species of leeches survive by feeding on blood from other animals. This type of feeding is called hematophagy, meaning blood feeding. Over millions of years, leeches have evolved extremely specialized tools that allow them to feed efficiently without causing immediate pain to their host. The process starts when the leech finds a host. Leeches don't have eyes that work like ours, but they are very sensitive to movement, warmth, and chemicals in the water. When a warm-blooded animal or human enters the water, the leech can sense tiny vibrations and temperature changes. Slowly, it moves toward the source and attaches to the skin using a suction cup at the front of its body. On s'attachèd, the leech's remarkable feeding process. Inside its mouth are tiny jaws lined with extremely sharp microscopic teeth. These teeth cut a small Y-shaped incision in the skin. But here's the amazing part. Most people don't feel this bite. That's because the leech releases special chemicals in its saliva that act as natural anesthetics. These chemicals numb the skin around the bite, preventing the host from feeling pain while the leech feeds. At the same time, the leech releases another powerful substance called Hirudin. Hirudin is a natural anticoagulant, which means it prevents blood from clotting. Normally, when your skin is cut, your body quickly forms a clot to stop bleeding. But Hirudin blocks that process, allowing the blood to keep flowing freely. This ensures the leech can drink continuously without interruption. Leech saliva also contains vasodilators, chemicals that widen tiny blood vessels near the skin. When these vessels expand, more blood flows to the area, making feeding easier. Combination in anesthetics, anticoagulants, vasodilators, the pairing environment. The host feels nothing, the blood flows freely, and the leech can enjoy its meal in peace. Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of one of nature's most misunderstood creatures, the leech. In our last video, we explored their basic biology and hunting techniques. But that was just the tip of the iceberg. Today, we're going to journey back in time, peek into their private lives, and discover how these bloodsuckers are becoming unlikely heroes in modern medicine. Let's start with a trip to the past. For thousands of years, long before modern pharmaceuticals, the go-to medical tool wasn't a pill or a syringe, but a leech. Tis practis, non-adletting, was a cornerstone of medicine from ancient Egypt all the way through the 19th century. The theory was that many illnesses were caused by an imbalance of humors in the body, and removing excess blood could restore health. Physicians would apply leeches to patients suffering from everything from headaches and fevers to more serious conditions. In the 19th century, leech therapy reached its peak, especially in Europe. France, for instance, imported tens of millions of medicinal leeches annually. Specialized farms were set up just to breed them. It wasn't a gentle process. Imagine being covered in these wriggling creatures, each one latching on and doing its work. While the underlying theory of humors was flawed, the practitioners were onto something, even if they didn't know why. The relief some patients felt wasn't just a placebo. It was due to the incredible chemical cocktail in the leech's saliva, a topic we'll revisit shortly. But as medical science advanced and our understanding of disease grew, the practice of widespread bloodletting fell out of favor. The humble leech was largely relegated to the history books, seen as a symbol of a primitive, almost barbaric, era of medicine. It seemed their time in the spotlight was over. But, as we'll see, you can't keep a good leech down. Before we jump into their modern comeback, let's explore a more intimate side of their lives, their reproduction. It's just as fascinating and a little strange as everything else about them. Leeches are hermaphrodites, meaning each individual has both male and female reproductive organs. However, they can't self-fertilize. They still need a partner. When two leeches decide to mate, it's a unique affair. They align their bodies and engage in what's called traumatic insemination. Instead of a conventional method, one leech uses a sharp, needle-like organ to pierce the skin of its partner and inject a packet of sperm directly into their body tissue. From there, the sperm migrates through the body to fertilize the eggs. It sounds brutal, but it's an effective strategy. After fertilization, the leech is ready to lay its eggs. It will find a damp, protected spot on land, often under a log or in moist soil near the water's edge. Then it secretes a tough, spongy cocoon from a special gland on its body. This cocoon is like a protective nursery. The leech deposits its fertilized eggs inside, seals it up, and leaves it. Inside this cocoon, the baby leeches develop, safe from predators and the elements. Depending on the species and temperature, they can hatch in a few weeks or even several months. When they finally emerge, they are miniature versions of their parents, already equipped with an insatiable appetite and ready to find their first meal. This life cycle ensures the continuation of their species perfectly adapted to their environment. It's a complex and successful strategy that has allowed them to thrive for millions of years. Now, let's fast forward to the present day, where the leech is making an incredible comeback in the most unlikely of places, the modern operating room. Remember that amazing saliva we talked about from the bloodletting era. Scientists have now unlocked its secrets, and it's a treasure trove of bioactive compounds. Leech saliva contains a powerful anticoagulant called Hirudin. This substance is one of the most potent natural blood thinners known to science. It prevents blood from clotting, which is the leech's secret to ensuring a steady, uninterrupted meal. But for surgeons, this is a game changer. In microsurgery, particularly reatecment, surgery for severed fingers, toes, or even ears, one of the biggest challenges is restoring blood flow. Arteries are relatively easy to stitch back together, but the tiny, fragile veins are much more difficult. If blood can get into the reattached part, but can't get out through the veins, it pools. This condition, called venous congestion, leads to swelling, pressure, and ultimately the death of the tissue. The reattached part turns blue and the surgery fails. This is where our hero, the medicinal leech, comes in. Surgeons will place a leech onto the congested area. The leech latches on, injects its Hirudin-laced saliva, and begins to feed. It does two things simultaneously. First, it physically removes the pooled, stagnant blood, immediately relieving the pressure. Second, and more importantly, the Hirudin it injects keeps the blood in the surrounding tiny vessels flowing freely, preventing new clots from forming. This gives the body's delicate veins the crucial time they need to heal and re-establish proper circulation on their own. It might sound medieval, but this is high-tech, FDA-approved medicine. The practice is known as leech therapy or hirudotherapy. Hospitals keep grade leeches, Hirudin procedures. Once a leech has done its job and is full, it detaches and is disposed of as medical waste. It's a one-time use tool. This application has saved countless reattached digits and skin grafts that would have otherwise failed. Beyond surgery, researchers are exploring other uses for the compounds in leech saliva. Its anti-inflammatory and anesthetic properties could lead to new treatments for conditions like arthritis. The story of the leech is a perfect example of how something ancient and once dismissed can find a new, vital purpose through modern science. From the murky waters of history to the bright lights of the surgical suite, the leech has proven to be much more than a simple parasite. It is a master of chemical warfare, a survivor with a bizarre love life, and an unexpected ally in the world of medicine. They challenge our perceptions and remind us that even the creatures we find unsettling can hold secrets that benefit humanity. They are a testament to the endless wonders and surprises that the natural world has to offer. Thank you so much for joining us on this extended journey into the world of leeches. I hope you've gained a new appreciation for these remarkable animals. If you found this fascinating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. See you next time.